You know, I went into work today and labeled the stream, let the good vibes roll. There you go. You heard that song, Let the Good Times Roll. Mine is Let the Good Vibes Roll. Let the good vibes roll. do. Let the good vibes roll. Oh, let the good vibes roll. Good vibes roll. Yes. Yeah, today is a really good day. I'm here right now watching the baby. She's having a little fun over here. She's listening to this Sesame Street, and there's a little shark singing on there. So I was really happy. I got off of work, and I got a call from my sister, and so she said, "Hey, you think you can watch baby?" I said, "Sure, anytime." Anytime it comes to my little niece, I run right over here, and my nephews. I gotta find a day to go get my nephews, of course, because I know that I got a week. Oh, that little gnat! Get out of here, little gnat! Get out! She's like so concentrated on the TV. Say hi, Oreo. Say hi, Oreo. Yeah. Yeah. He's sitting. He's sad because he wants my brother-in-law to come back. But, he had to do practice. He had to take the other nephew off practice. So he'll be back soon, okay? Don't be too sad, okay? It's making me feel bad. Normally I bring him chicken, but I didn't get a chance to buy him any chicken. I came down here, rushed down here through that traffic. It was crazy earlier today. Oh, it's okay. Look. Maybe next time. But yeah, busy week. I have a week and a half left until the surgery. So, I'm trying to get everything squeezed into 1 week. I plan on having maybe a music stream, some fun stream before I do go out for, the surgery. I'm very, very excited. I'm happy. I'm very blessed. And, the social worker, they called me. I'm not used to having a social worker. I felt so it's weird. I feel very uncomfortable sometimes, when people talk to me for so long. She was calling. She was like, hey, how's everything going? And how do you feel? And I said, I feel ready. That's all I know. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel afraid at all. If anything, I feel ready. I'm happy that this is all finally happening. And, planning on taking, a good leave from work. I mean, and in some form of way, I'm kind of excited, I don't have to work for a little while, so I could be off for a bit, Just like my last surgery, I read the whole book of Psalms and Proverbs during my recovery time. So it was really good, doing that. And make sure I watch it. She's just sitting there watching the television. She hasn't cried for a baba yet, her bottle. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I just want to get this done. And I felt like I started getting anxiety. I don't know why, but if someone talks to me for so long, like a doctor or a social worker, I get very anxious. I don't know why. I just started laughing out of nowhere. I was on the phone yesterday, and she's like, "So how are you feeling?" I'm like, I'm good, And to be honest with you, I was getting nervous just talking, to be honest. I felt it was weird. I felt my social anxiety come on a little bit. It was so weird. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. I'm just not used to really, I guess because I'm a very independent type of person. So I'm not the type of person that talks things out. I'm the type of person that thinks things out. And I like to be in my own space. I don't know if other people are that way. But me, I'm not the type of person that tends to have to vent to people. If anything, I'm the type of person that likes to vent to myself, if that makes sense. And or I like to talk things out to myself, think things through. Maybe it's an introvert thing, but I started getting, like anxious, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm fine because I really am fine. And what they do is like, when they do like surgeries for like organ donors and stuff, they assign you a social worker. And it's weird. The nurse I work with, she was like, "Oh, you may need a psychiatrist after this. Do you have one?" I'm like, "No, I didn't think you would need a psychiatrist." I mean, I'm not big on psychiatrists. I'm not shaming anybody who does see one. You know what I mean? If psychiatrist works for you, that's great. Me, I don't believe in, seeing like psychiatrists and things like that. It's one thing to see a therapist, someone to talk to, but I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't know. I just, I told her, I said, no, I don't have no psychiatrist. I looked at her, why would I need a psychiatrist? She's like, yeah, because, some people, they get out of surgery and they think different. I was like, no, I'm going to be fine. For one, like I said, I'm not fond of psychiatrists and things like that. I don't really believe in that. Like, I told my nurse that, everything is in the hands of God, so everything that happens is in the hands of God, and whatever his will is, it shall be done. So I'm not worried about anything. And, I was like, no, I won't need no psychiatrist. This is not my first surgery. I had another surgery, everybody knows, back 2 years ago, but 2.5 years ago now, because I was late 22, December. So, I'm fine. I say I didn't need no psychiatrist, and I know some people do because, they lose an ovary or they lose an organ and they feel like off. But me, I'm okay. And like I said, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in taking like seeing a psychiatrist or things like that. I just don't believe in these things. Taking psych meds, I don't believe in that either. I'm just completely against this kind of things. But if it, like I said, if it works for somebody else and it's good for them and they do those kind of things, then that's on them. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a therapist or like someone to talk to, but I don't think that, like psychiatry, when I hear the word psychiatrist, I start thinking medicines, I start thinking like shrinks and doctors, and I'm like, I don't think that people should be going and seeing a psychiatrist for everything. I just don't think that's really necessary, But social worker, she was like, I told her, I said, well, I'm a social worker, but that's because, we signed one. They just like to check your to see how you're feeling and stuff when you get out of the surgery and everything. But I'm good. As a matter of fact, I start getting anxiety talking. I don't know why. I get anxiety after talking to somebody for so long, especially like certain doctors. I get like a lot of anxiety, and I'm like, oh, So I was on the phone, and after like 3 minutes, I was like itching. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good, because I really am good. But if I keep on staying on the phone too long, I won't be good. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, thank you so much. And then she said she would, during the surgery, she will check up on me. I said, okay, that's great. My biggest anxiety, if anything, is my job calling me during the middle of surgery, because that's what happened last time. And they were like messaging me like every 2 or 3 days, and I don't want that to happen this time. I was like, how you feeling? I'm like, oh boy, they keep calling, messaging me how I'm feeling. I feel okay, but I'm still recovering, and so I won't be back until this date. So I hope this time they don't do that, because I want to be able to be at ease and relaxed. I mean, maybe that's what I'll tell the social worker next time. She says, how you feeling? Is there anything you're anxiety about? Yeah, I don't want the job to text me. Because I really don't. I don't want to be bothered while I'm recovering. That was crazy last time, I mean, I know that, I love my job, but you gotta give me a break. Not every 2 to 3 days. I don't want anyone texting me. I'm recovering. They doing that. But even today, like, it was so weird. Like, I felt like a little anxiety. You're getting happy over there, right? You like Mr. Elmo? I don't know what the big blue guy is on there. So, yeah, that's where my anxiety would come from, if anything. But like, I've been noticing, my observation, like, certain people, like, I'll talk to, and I've gotten a lot better over the years, like with eye contact with people, But if it's like somebody talking to me for long, or somebody likes me, like, not in a way like a man liking me, but more like, let's say it's a woman from another facility that I talk to that I've never seen. And she's like, oh, I'm going to stop by and see you, because there's somebody did that, and I start getting anxiety about that. I said, oh gosh, I start getting anxiety. I'm like, yes, yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's good to see you. Yes. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm grabbing the papers and everything, and I start feeling anxiety. I'm like this, like, oh gosh, I need them to leave right now. It's starting to become too much. And then, and then they leave, and I feel so much better and relieved. It's so weird. I don't know why I get that, but every once in a while, it's like an off and on switch with me. But it's not the same feel I get like when it's a toxic person. Like, I know the difference between when I'm having anxiety and versus a toxic person kind of vibe feel. Like, I know when the difference, like, okay, this is more like my anxiety. I don't want to meet new people. And like, and I think it has a lot to do with me being an introvert too. And, then there's the feeling I get when it's a toxic person. I noticed that when it's a toxic person, I don't just get anxiety. I have a feeling of like never, like, not disgust, but more like I can't deal with the energy, and it's like, oh gosh, I can't deal with this. This is like unacceptable behavior. You feel at peace when they're not around, so I can tell the difference. But sometimes, every once in a while, I don't know what it is. I could be fine 1 minute around somebody, and then the next second, I get this high anxiety when they just keep talking for too long. And let's say, especially when it's like a coworker or like business, authority figure, a doctor, even like certain people, like, let's say it's acquaintances. I remember going to this place, I called it the Hillbilly Cafe, right? You are so excited over there. My little niece, she's so cute. I would show her, but my sister, out of respect for her, I will never do that to her. I won't show her, because there's too many crazy people out there, My sister gets anxiety about that, so I don't show her face. But I remember going to this place. It was like the Hillbilly Cafe, and I used to sing there, and I used to sing with my eyes closed, and I haven't done it for years, singing in public. But when I did go there were certain people that'd be nice and friendly, and I don't mind like a small talk. Like, they'll come say, hi, how you doing? Say, it's nice meeting you and stuff, and say things are good and stuff. But once you try to get personal, is where the anxiety kicks in, and then they're talking for too long, and it's like, yeah. Well, okay, yep, all right, yes, oh yes, yep, and you're shaking their hands. Oh, yep, all right, yep. Oh, you have a good day now. You're trying to get away. Yeah, so they keep talking. They try to follow. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that was great. And you're like this. You're trying to go between the crowds because you're trying to get away. you move away, and they're like trying to like, wait, hold on here, and you're trying to talk. Yeah, and you get this anxiety because they're trying to talk for too long, and you're like, or they get too personal. And but I've gotten better with the eye contact. Like, I can look for a longer time period without feeling the anxiety coming on. And then, if it's like a person that I sense bad vibes, toxicity, it's different. It's not just anxiety, it's more like an awareness. Weird. Like you could just tell something's off, and it's not like a feeling you want to get too friendly with them. You're like on guard. You feel this discomfort, like it's a different feel. It's like a bad vibe, dark. You feel kind of heavy inside. You're like, oh, I don't know about this person. It's weird. So people may, I could tell the difference of when I'm having like anxiety around a person and when it's just bad feel. And you're just like, ooh, and I got to get away from them, Oh boy, she's so cute. She's going to be, how many months? February to March, April, May, June. So she's 4.5, July, 5 months. I'm saying June. We're in July right now. It's 5.5 months. I can't believe it. She'll be 6 months. I can't believe it. That's just how fast time is flying. As soon as you know, she'll be 1 year old. Oh boy, I got to give you a little niece. But before, you know what I mean? I still have anxiety about having kids. But, I feel so bad for my niece because, she needs a little cousin. I'm saying give her a niece. I mean a cousin. Oh, my gosh. And my mother-in-law, she has no grandchildren. She only has one son. So I'm like, okay, well, let's do this surgery and then see what God brings me, Because after the surgery, I'm going to take some time off from work, and then I'm going to, yes, baby. You want me to take you out? Here, I'm going to take her out of there. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to take her out. I don't think she wants to stay stuck in this thing. Okay, I'm going to take you out of there. Okay, Peppa? Okay, buddy. All right. I'm taking you out. I know you don't want to be strapped in that thing. You want me to come pick you up? I know, baby. I know. Okay, got you. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I got you. I'm going to make you a bubba, okay? Okay. Oh. You want me to make you a bubba? I think she wants a bottle, too. We make her a bubba. All right, let me get you a bubba. Get you a bubba. I know. I'm going to make you one right now, okay? I'll make you one. Oh. Make you one, okay? I know. Let's see. Make you a bubba. I'm going to make you this one because I think she likes these bottles because that's the small ones. Excuse me, Oreo. Make them use this bottle here because I think she doesn't like the other bottles. The nipples, she hates. Cannot stand the bigger ones. So we have to end up putting cereal. All right, I'll put you down for a minute. I know, oh, you look like you're about to cry. Put you down. Make you a bubba, okay? I'm going to make you a bubba. I'm going to make you one right now. Make her a little bubba because she's hungry. It's coming, okay? She was having her fun, but now she's hungry now. It's coming, baby. Make her some bubba. Okay, make her one. I know she's hungry. I know. What time is it? I wonder what time is it right now. This is we got 6 out, so I'm gonna put it 3. It's coming, baby. Shake this up, okay, baby? Shake up her milk, and then I'm gonna get her feeding. I know she's hungry. I know you want your milk right now. I know. I ain't waiting for you, Aunt Candy. I know. Aunt Candy got you. Gotta make sure I shake this up good though. It's coming, baby. Yeah, what I didn't use the other bottles, the bigger ones, that I would have to put cereal in. I know sometimes when I put the cereal in, she ain't gonna get a harder time. All right, baby, it's coming, it's coming. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I got you, baby. Oh, you hungry, girl? Yeah, you hungry, girl? Yeah, she's hungry. I know, baby. Yes, Aunt Candy got you. See? If I have a kid, I'm gonna be all prepared and ready to go. Cause see, Aunt Candy got this. I took care of the other two. Two of them both has a baby. Yes. But yeah. So I feel bad. I gotta get you a little cousin. I'm gonna have so much anxiety about it, but I mean, I'll try for one, babe. I'll give it a try, but first I gotta do the surgery first, and then I want to make sure I just shake this bottle one more time. I always worry about like clumps being inside the bottle. You know, I got anxiety about that. All right, make sure I shake this up really good because I always worry all the time. And Candy got too many words. I know, I just want to make sure. All right, so I like to make sure that bottle is shaked up. So I don't be playing around. But yeah, surgery first. I'm gonna. It's an honor, yes, you know. And then and see what happens. I mean, I would like to move in another like year, like 6 months. And hopefully, because I've been in this apartment complex for about like, I'm gonna say roughly, what, that's 2012, almost 14 years. Yeah, almost 14 years. So I would love to just move into a house for once. So we're going to see what happens. And if I do have a kid, like I said before, I don't want to be in my 40s, and I'm 4 years from being 40. I'll be 36 this October. So I wouldn't want to be any much older than 38. Well, we'll see. It depends on what God brings, you know, what his will is. And like I said, you know, I could tell people one way or another, it could be me end up with one baby or no babies. But one way or another, I still am blessed with 2 nephews and a niece. You know, I just feel bad because you know what my nephew said? He said to me, he says, when are you going to give us a little cousin, you know, because they have a lot of cousins from my brother-in-law, you know, their father's side, but not from, you know, out my side. You know, they have one cousin from our side. That's my other nephew from my brother. So, yeah. So I'm like, they asked me, hey, Kitty, when are you going to have a baby for us? So they're making me feel bad. My he's going to be 15. You know, he's getting so big and he's taller than me now. You know? Oh, boy, I have so many fears, you know, but I'm like, oh, well, you put me on the spot. When you going to have a baby for us here, Candy? I said, I have to see. I probably end up having one, but it's going to be just one because, you know, I think one is good. The way this society is today, this world, and the way things are going, it's difficult raising a child. You know, you know what they say, it takes a village to raise a baby. You know, look at me sitting here right now, you know. You know, but I'm glad that I'm involved in my nieces and nephews' lives, you know. And everybody needs a break sometimes, you know. Definitely need a break. I'm about to burp you in just a minute, little young lady, and don't you cry, okay? You're not gonna cry on me, huh? Sometimes she wants to just drink straight through, but I'd like to just burp her just in case, you know. I don't want her having a gassy tummy. But yeah, it's a it's hard raising a baby, and especially today's era. They want people to work, and where do you have the time to raise a child? It's hard. It really is. It's really, really hard. And I was listening. I shared this video on my post. Let me put this phone down over here. I'm gonna get ready to burp her in a minute. I shared this post. Let me see what she drank because I'm gonna burp her in between in a minute. Oh, girl, you drank down this bottle like crazy. I want to wipe her chin. You ready for a burp? Huh? Ready for a burp? I like that. Yeah, so he was mentioning like this generation that we live in. He was like, it just sucks. He says, I really cannot stand this generation. I can't either. I don't like the 2020s. I think a lot of people don't, Not the greatest era, You can't look at this world and say it will ever be the same again. And when I say the same, I don't mean like in the sense of technology wise. I'm talking about just the way the era is, how people became, the way society has become. It's just different. Let's see. If I do have, like I said, if I have one child, one thing that's most important, I'm gonna burp you, lady. I'm gonna burp you. I'll burp her here. But one thing is I want to raise my child in the Lord. That's number one. God always first. Oh, you burped just already. Okay, well, I'm gonna just do one more. Let me see if I can get one more out of you. That's the most important thing because that's what we were created for. We are created to serve the Lord. That was our purpose here. So if I have a child, that's number one is wanting to raise the child in the Lord, and be the best parent that I can be, do the best I can, That's it. Love my daughter or son, whatever. My mom keeps saying it's going to be a girl, and I believe her other three predictions actually happened, which is scary. She told my sister, she was like, you're going to have a girl in 10 years. She's like, it ain't going to be now. And my sister's like, I ain't having no more babies. I ain't going to have no more. And she ended up pregnant with this one here, like years and years down the line later, in her 30s, and it's a girl, like my mom said. And then my sister got too excited. She's like, no more for me. So my mom says, no, kid, you're going to have a girl. She's going to be in your late 30s. She told me that like years ago, that I wasn't going to have kids until like my late 30s. And it looked like it's about to happen. Say, Mommy, you're scaring me now. Oh boy. But that's what I want to do. And just, if I have a child, I definitely want to travel. And I don't know if I'm going to have my child in homeschool because my sister is thinking about that. And she was saying, it would be good if we can homeschool, let's say I have one child, she has her daughter, we can homeschool them, My sister is saying like, because schools are getting bad. And she was like, she would rather homeschool and maybe work 3 days a week and I work 3 days a week and we just take turns, and I think that's a good idea. I know somebody that homeschooled her children, 2 of them, and they were smart boys. She homeschooled them both and they were very smart. Didn't have to deal with, problems in school because, let's face it, school, more than half these kids can't concentrate. They either got bullies or they just worrying about all the wrong things, But she was saying that, maybe homeschooling is the best thing. And the boys loved it. My friend, she pulled her daughter out of school too. Well, before she hit, junior high, I think, she pulled her out of school. Because she was like, it's getting bad. I don't like what they're teaching. She's like, she didn't like the stuff they were teaching in the schools. and her daughter just couldn't concentrate, and then she just said, I just think she'll be better just off being home and being homeschooled. So a lot of people are doing that now. I think even my cousin, I have to ask my sister, I thought she pulled her kids out of school too, and she's homeschooling them. I mean, she's a stay-at-home mom, and she has her own garden. She has 5 children, and I need to start doing that. I need to, as soon as I get a house in the backyard, I want to get my garden going. But she does her own stuff. She has her own little chickens, and they lay their eggs, and she just lives simply, and she's happy, she's content, and I think she homeschools her kids. I have to ask my sister again. But a lot of people are starting to do that now, and I can't really blame them at all with the way things are. So my sister was like saying the same thing. She was like, I want to only work part-time, and she's a nurse, so she makes a decent amount, and she's like, as long as I can make enough to pay my bills and have a house to live in, I want to be able to raise my kids and homeschool them and be home more. I have to work every day. And they keep talking about like what is it, the birth rate crisis. It's like, oh, millennials are not having enough babies, and I'm like, can you blame us? Everybody, look at the comment section of those kind of videos, and everyone's like, I don't want to bring a baby into this world, and oh, it's bad. Every comment section you go down, oh, it's hard enough. Everything is going up. But I think there are ways around things too, like because I was listening to another video where a lady was complaining about the price of things, and it is going up a lot. But a lot of stuff that they're buying, they don't need. Like, you're buying a bag of chips for what, $6, $7? Why buy that? That doesn't make no sense. Buy some rice and beans. Buy some stuff from the butcher market. I went to the butcher market, bought a bunch of meat, and there's like $2.98 for some chicken thighs. Bought 5 chicken legs for like $2. I mean, it was pretty good down my way. So, I think a lot of it is, definitely want to know how to cook. Got to learn how to cook and be able to cut costs on things. Maybe you can't buy that soda anymore, or buy those Oreo chocolate chip cookies. Maybe you're gonna have to bake them. I'm over here burping. You're not burping again. You only burped that one little time. We'll give it another try in a little bit. All right, let's see. Good, you were hungry? Yeah, she actually just, do you want any more? No more? Looks like you're giving me a funny face like you don't want no more. Let's see. And it seems like she doesn't want no more. She's kind of playing with the milk now. I think she drank enough. I mean, she was guzzling it down. Oh, how much did she drink? It's 2 left, so she drank 4 ounces. I'm gonna let this sit for a bit. It's good for 2 hours, and after that, I gotta toss it. Oh, my little angel. Oh, boy. But, yes. I'll hold her in my hands because I don't want to put her deck in there just yet. Yeah. Try not to show her face. But, yes. La, 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 la. Snuffy song. Donuts. Toffees. Snowskirts. Summer's song. She likes when I sing to her. Oh, look all relaxed there now, young lady. I knew you were hungry when I heard that cry. I knew that cry. That was a hungry cry. Yep. I just make sure I just check her diaper. Okay, I think she's good. I'll put this back over here. But Where was I at? I got distracted singing Elmo's World. Just rock her. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh. But yeah, I just figure I just try to get everything done in this next week and a half. Spend as much time as I can, and then of course I'm gonna get my nephews one day so we can make homemade pizza together. I'm gonna teach them how Aunt Candy makes her pizzas, and I'm gonna see my friend for her birthday. We wanted to go to the Renaissance Fair, but they're not gonna start until around until August, until October. So we'll probably do the fall one because I'll be fully healed, probably, definitely by then. But I figure, the surgery. I mean, they say 4 to 6 weeks, but we'll see. It depends. I think the last surgery I had, I did pretty well on it, and we'll see what happens with this one. And so I didn't really want to say too much until the date was set, and it's still set for the 29th. And when that day comes, I'll do a video, give an update, and tell you what the surgery was for. It's a good thing, but it's a good surgery, but nothing bad. Nothing. Let's just put it this way: I ain't having surgery because of anything bad. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. It's a good type of surgery. Very, very good, and it's a blessing. It's a really good blessing. So, I turn Elmo into a little ball. But yeah, so I just want to kind of squeeze everything in. I wanted to do the Renaissance Fair. I got to wait till fall, and because I got a childlike side myself, and I wanted to get a costume to put on and look like those people from the Renaissance era. And so my friend we love those Victorian, the Middle Ages dresses, the way the women used to dress back then. Like, we're both obsessed with that. So we were like hoping they were going to have one this weekend, and they're not going to have one. So I'm not too happy about that. I mean, that's what I wanted to do for her birthday. She was like excited. I know she was excited about it. So I messaged her and I told her, I said, there's no Renaissance fairs unless maybe New York, maybe we have to drive up there to do one. If they do have one in New York and it's like a 2-hour drive, I'll do it. I'll drive 2 hours for the Renaissance Fair for her birthday. Because she really wanted to do the Renaissance for her birthday. She loves the Renaissance Fair. You dress up, you look like the people from the old days. And me, I wanted to do like a braid type of hairstyle in my hair, dress up and, hear the music and sit outside. That would have been, that would be really fun, Heck, I don't celebrate Halloween no more. So, because I stopped celebrating. So, hey, that's the closest I could get to dressing up and putting some kind of costume on and make it fun and know that, okay, it's just completely innocent. There's nothing bad about it, So I'm like, there you go. We found something we can do where we could dress up and it doesn't have to be that bad holiday, Halloween, We can, it's completely innocent. It's us dressing up like how we were in the old days and have a little fun, get creative. Another thing I was thinking about was the escape room. I don't know if she's, into like those escape rooms because, I know she's claustrophobic. So I'm like, but she does it. That'd be another fun thing to do for her birthday. That would be really, really fun. Her and the kids. So figure just try to squeeze everything in before I be out because, it's going to be some weeks before I can go out and do anything. And if we don't do the Renaissance Fair, I'm definitely going to do it in the fall. Definitely late September, early October. I want to dress up. I want to be a big kid. I want to put on a nice fancy dress that looks like the old days from like the Middle Ages or something and dress up and have the hairstyle and everything. That's what I'm looking for. You're so quiet there. Are you going to sleep on me, baby? You going to sleep with me? I know her bedtime's going to be coming soon, but I don't want her to go to sleep too early because what happens is that she gets up too early, and I want her to be nice and, well slept when my sister comes back, So that way she can kind of relax tonight. Oh, I'm gonna walk her around in a bit because I want to show her around outside. She likes seeing different things. Oh, I see you yawning. Yep. Because normally our bedtime's like what? I don't know what time it is right now because I don't have a clock. I have one on this phone. Let me just see something here real quick. I just want to see if it's 6:55. I'm gonna try to keep her up. She sees my face on the screen. You see my face there? That's me. Yes. Yeah. I just can't show you. I ain't showing you on here. No. Peekaboo. We're gonna play peekaboo in a minute. She likes that too. Play peekaboo with her, and I just want to keep her up for just one more hour, because what will end up happening is she's gonna wake up an hour earlier than what she's supposed to. She normally goes to bed around like 8 and gets up at like 12 or 1, and then she'll end up getting up at like 11 or something. I don't want that. I want my sister to be able to relax. Oh boy, 'cause I know she works hard, and sometimes she just needs to get her rest, and sometimes definitely go out. So I told her, anytime, I'm more than happy to help her out. As you know, that's why I'm called Mama Candy. I'm not just called Crazy Aunt Candy, but I'm also called Mama Candy because I have a motherly nature. Oh, I got three natures. You know what they are? My inner child nature, where I come out and I'm a big baby, and I like to be a kid and jump around my room and just laugh and have a good time. And then I have my mommy nature, where I'm very nurturing. And then I have my crazy nature, okay? I'm naturally crazy. Yes. Not mentally ill crazy, don't get it twisted. I'm just naturally crazy, my personality, my character. Yes. So yes. And that's how I am. My auntie nature is more of the nurturing nature. I have my childhood nature, and then I have my crazy nature. I have all three. 3 in 1. There you go. Nice, good combination. I'm very dynamic. Yes. Very, very dynamic. Yes. It's funny. One time, one of my patients, it was during the pandemic, I remember. And I think my coworker was out. I don't know if she had COVID or, or if she was on vacation. I forgot. But I remembered a time. I'm switching to my other hand here. You see me? She's watching me out here. I remember taking his sleeve off, right? Because I had to do his blood pressure. And I said, okay, let's take off you got to take your hand out of your sleeve so I could take your blood pressure, and I'm taking his hand out of the sleeve because, trying to help assist him. And he was like, are you a mom? And I said, no. I said, I'm an auntie, but I'm not a mom. I said, why you ask? He's like, you are very nurturing. I didn't think I was that nurturing. I was like, why do you think that about me? But, it's funny because he said that. And I was like, and, I said, oh, no, I have 2 nephews at the time. I didn't have my niece yet. And I was like, no, but I do have 2 nephews that I take care of all the time. And he says, oh, okay. He says, you're very nurturing. I don't know. Maybe it's the way I told him to take his hand out of the sleeve. I don't know. But I was assisting him and trying to take his blood pressure because, when people have long sleeves on, you can't take you can take blood pressure, but it's a little bit harder to hear, and I want to have their pulse and everything. So, I told him, I said, here, let's take your arm out of the shirt. And he was like, you're a mom. I started laughing. Oh, gosh. But yes. But that reminded me of that. I was like, I ain't a mom, but, I sure as hell have a very nurturing side to me. And I have a lot of experience with babies. A lot. So I'll be all nice and well equipped and got all the skills I need when I have one. I won't be very nervous. I won't. I see you. No, you can't. I know you see me on here, but I can't put you on here. I wouldn't do that to my sister. No, no, no. She didn't mind the two boys being on there, but she's like the little baby girl. She's like, no. She was telling me something about like on Facebook or whatever that there's like some app. I don't know about it so much. But she said there's an app where people are taking little girls' faces and baby girl faces and putting it on porn bodies and stuff. And I said, what? And so my sister got anxiety about that. So I mean, I don't know how what kind of app that is, but that's nasty. Like it's you gotta be a pervert, really sick in the head to do something like that. Like taking some kids' pictures and putting it on a porn body. I feel like, that should be something where you detects that and report somebody. You biting my arm? I think she's teething right now. Yeah. Yeah, she's starting to teeth, I think, because I know she's biting on things. My sister says sometimes she'll bite. She'll bite on the side of her arm or something. That's what she's doing to me. Oh, boy. Oh. Okay, but she don't like the pacifier. We tried giving her the pacifier. She will not put a pacifier in her mouth. She will not do that. Even as a newborn, they tried putting a pacifier in her mouth. I tried buying her the Bobos, those like older, like what is it? The older pacifiers that are rubber, not the silicone ones. And she didn't want to put it in her mouth. Me, I loved my pacifiers. I remember being 4, putting a pacifier in my mouth. Right? My mom was like, get that out of your mouth. And I was a thumb sucker, too. I sucked my thumb up till 6 years old. And you know what made me stop? My grandmother. My grandma, she scared the hell out of me. She told me one day, she caught me sucking my thumb. And next thing you know, look at my arm. What you doing? Oh boy. She told me that if I kept sucking my thumb, she says, you keep sucking your thumb? You keep doing that, you're gonna end up looking like that rabbit. See that rabbit's teeth right there? Your teeth gonna be it's gonna be hunched out like that rabbit's tooth. Your teeth is all gonna be all crooked, and they're gonna come out like that. You're gonna look like a big bunny rabbit. And I was like, and I stopped sucking my thumb. I remember that to that day. That's how scared I was. She saw me sucking my thumb. I said, you still sucking your thumb? You need to get that thumb out of your mouth. You keep sucking that thumb, I'll tell you what happens to your teeth. It's going to get crooked, and you're going to look like that big bunny rabbit on that I showed you the other day. Your teeth are going to be crooked, they're going to be pointing out, and they're going to look like a rabbit. And I was like this. I got so scared. And and then one day, my other aunt, she says when you lie or whatever, if you lie, she says that you're going to turn to a big, ugly monkey. And I was young and I really believed it. So I was always scared to like lie because I always felt like, oh man, she told me if you lie, you'll turn to this big, ugly gorilla and monkey. And I said, oh no. Because one day somebody cut her doll baby's hair. And it wasn't me. It was somebody else. And I got blamed for it. And they said, Candace, did you do it? And I was standing there with my cousins. I still remember that to this day. I was so young. I was around like 5 or 6 years old. I remembered. And we were stand up in a line, and there was 2 little dolls on the wall. There was one white doll and one black doll. And they weren't like baby dolls, like where they're hard. They were like made out of cloth or so, and it looked like they were dressed up with a hat on, and they were out of cloth. And I actually had a doll like that when I was younger. But she put them on her walls, and somebody cut the hair off the blonde one, I think. So she was upset. She says, who cut the hair off my dolls on the wall? And I know it wasn't me. But I just kind of took up, and because they kept saying, they were like, Candace, was it you? And I says, no. And they were like, Candace, are you lying? And I didn't know, like, too much what lying meant until they told me, like, if you're telling something that's not true, so I knew what that was. So then they said, Candace, just say you did it. And they was like, are you sure you didn't do it? So I just wanted to go home. I said, yeah, because nobody else was confessing. But I pretty much lied and said I did something I didn't do. So then she said, you know what lying is, right? She was like, yeah, you know what happens when you lie? You turn to a big, ugly gorilla, monkey. You want to look like that? And I was like, no. And I did lie. Not because, I lied about cutting anything. I lied in the sense of saying that I did something I didn't do. Because I never cut the hair. So I'm thinking like, oh shit, I lied. I turned to a big, ugly monkey. It was scaring me like half to death. And I mean, I don't know if anyone ever experienced this, but when you're younger and you're like 8, 9, 10 years old and your mom tells you if you're going to kiss a boy, you're going to turn pregnant. So I believed that for a while too. They're like, oh, if you kiss anybody, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to get pregnant. Your belly's going to grow big and fat and the baby's going to pop out of your stomach. You're like this, oh no, So I know my coworker, we were laughing about this one time because her mom had her believing that for longer than usual, that if she kissed a boy, she was going to turn pregnant. And she thought that a boy went to go kiss her one time. She thought she was going to get pregnant. Hey, well, that trick worked for her for a long time. It kept her protected, And then the boy I think he went to go kiss her real quick, and then she thought she was going to get pregnant. Oh boy. I guess, hey, if it works, I don't see why not. It's funny, when you're younger, you believe these things, they say, oh, you kiss that boy, you're going to turn pregnant. And I was scared. I was like, oh no, I'm never going to have them kiss my hand, my cheek or anything because I don't want to get pregnant. Oh no, And it's funny, even when I was 15, right? I mean, I knew by then that if you kissed a boy, you're not going to get pregnant unless you do, pee-pee time. And so, but I had a fear that if I went in the pool, right? Because I thought that if you go in the pool water and sperm is in it, it's going to get you pregnant. So that was my biggest fear. So one day I was dating a boy and I was 15 years old. And, I heard this myth or whatever that if you go in a pool and a boy's sperm is in there, it's going to get you pregnant. So I said, I was in this pool with a boy. Oh no, what if I get pregnant? Oh my gosh. So I was dating this boy who was 15 and I asked his mother one day. His mother came into the room and, she was like, no hanky panky. And, they were very old school. They kept the door open. So, and she came in and I asked her because I was so scared. I even asked her. That's how scared I was about getting pregnant from the pool. And I said, Mrs., I forgot her last name. I think it started with a G. I said, I have a question. And she says, yes. I said, can you get pregnant in the pool? And she started laughing. I said, can you get pregnant? She said, why would you get pregnant in the pool? And she was asking me these questions. And I said, because I heard that if sperm go in the pool, it's going to go up your ooh and it's going to get you pregnant. She says, first of all, the sperms cannot survive in that. And they cannot swim and find your ooh and go into it. I really thought that you're going to get pregnant in the pool with sperm. I was so naive. I thought that was going to happen to me. I forgot who told me. I think I heard a myth from somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if it was from my mom, but I mean, I thought that the sperm was going to swim in the water and impregnate me when I was 15. And I asked the boy's mom because I was that scared. I was like, if I go in the pool with the boys, will I get pregnant? No, you're not getting pregnant in the pool water. So I'm thinking the boys are gonna, squirt some juice in there, and next thing you know, the sperms is flying around happy. She says, no, they won't know. They have no idea. They won't survive, and they won't know what the ooh looks like, and they won't go in there and swim up you. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought that you could get pregnant in the pool water. She says, no, that's not true. And I learned that that's not true. You won't get pregnant in the pool water. I just look back and laugh about it now. Oh boy. Oh gosh. And sometimes just think back at certain memories and just laugh, Funny memories. Have you fallen asleep on me? Let me see, what time is it? 7:10. I'm gonna walk her around. I'm gonna let her look outside. It's hot and muggy out there, so I won't bring her out there, but I'll let her see outside and play pickaboo with her because I want to keep her up. I see her doing this with her eyes like this. Yeah, I see you. You're not getting away. I gotta let you sleep at 8. Keep her entertained. And maybe then I'll try to feed her a little bit of that milk before it goes, because I don't, it's only good for 2 hours, so I don't want to, see if she wants more. If not, that's fine. We'll just wait till she's hungry again. But I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna walk her around a bit, play some little peekaboo games with her, right? Yes, Aunt Candy gonna have fun time with you. I don't want you to fall asleep just yet. But take care, everybody. Just wanted to say greetings to everybody, and I do have a stream called "Why the Topic of the Night," and we are going to do some Bible study. Either maybe tomorrow morning or tonight if I have time. I do want to do the one on scientific facts of the Bible. And I am very much looking forward to it. So we got to find a day to do that before I go out for surgery. But God bless everybody. Take care.